Okay, very short discussion for you on the part C of question 27. The key here is you cannot quote experimental error for the reason why there was a discrepancy. I remember AAS is incredibly accurate, up to parts per billion in calculating the concentration of ions in solution. Likewise, a titration conducted correctly, as the student did, is incredibly accurate. So you can't say, oh, there was some experimental error and move on. You need to go a little bit deeper. What's happening is that you are titrating your EDTA complex with calcium or magnesium in solution. And what will happen is that the EDTA complex will happily react with all the calcium and all the magnesium in solution, and it won't make a distinction between either. That's why it's so good. We're interested in both of these ions in solution, and so as it reacts with both of these ions in solution, we're able to do a titration, and the endpoint is when all of them have been consumed. Now, the student would calculate the concentration of just the calcium ions in solution. Now, this is good with regards to using that concentration and then moving into an expression of hardness like we did, but it's not the whole picture, is it? Some of those calcium ions would in fact have been magnesium ions if they were present. What the AAS did was to reveal that, only 84% of the ions that reacted with the EDTA were calcium, because it only picked up 84% of the concentration, meaning that 16% of the magnesium ions were present and hadn't been accounted for in the titration. Why? The titration cannot distinguish between the two ions, it just finds out the total number of them both together. AAS, with its specific cathode ray tube shining the exact wavelength of light that only calcium will pick up, is able to distinguish between the two ions. So there's the chemistry behind it. How would you put that in a single sentence? Well, it's quite straightforward, isn't it? You'd be able to say that atomic absorption spectroscopy was able to distinguish between the two ions that the EDTA titration was unable to do. That's all it is. Too easy, and you can move on.